Welcome back to the Open Wheel Offline League, Season 5, Round 6, here at Sebring for the first time since Season 1. If you're wondering why it looks strange, iRacing updated its UI today, so this is what it looks like now. Let's take a look at, oh, this is gonna take some getting used to. Let's take a look at your entries for Round 1 Group A. We got Shane Van Gisbergen, your winner of the last two races. Connor Zilic, Louis Foster, Robbie Lohr, Chet Jordan, Benjamin Peterson, Dorian Pinn, Lindsey Brewer, Francesco Draconi, Devlin DiFrancesco, Stingray Robb, Dawa Tenzin, Glubler Lohr, and David Malukas. That's neat UI. First car out on track, it's going to be Chet Jordan, coming off a ninth at Interlagos. Has not finished worse than 11th this season, and sits 6th in the championship, one of the most consistent drivers. Tied with Guy Gagné in points, but Gagné wins in a tiebreaker. One of the few drivers that have raced at Sebring before in the Open Wheel Offline League. He, Shane Van Gisbergen, Stingray Robb, Glubler Lohr might be the only four, and all of them are in this group. Yeah, I believe that is it. And they're all... No, Mahavir Raghunathan is raced here. He's in Group B. Going down the backstretch. A little bit of a longer track. Not long enough for the session to be extended like it was at the Bend. Still quite long as, oh, Chet Jordan might be in an unfortunate situation. He's got to beat that 18 out. And I think he will. He's going to get ahead of the 18 here. So clean track for his first lap. First lap, going to be powerful. Just considering how long the circuit is. Big slide in that middle section. Hold on to it. Shane Van Gisbergen, he's in this group, has won all of the road course poles this season. He typically starts a season like that, then it gets a little more diverse as the season goes on. Marcus Armstrong, the only other one to have won a pole, but both of his were on ovals. Right now, Shane Van Gisbergen, 2 pinks to open his lap. Pink meaning it is the best in the session. Chet Jordan's going to hold on to that third sector pink, as Van Gisbergen might be in a little bit of traffic with, I believe, David Malukas and his teammate Louis Foster. Nevertheless, he's still turning some pinks, but yeah, he is currently being held up. He hasn't been eliminated in round 1 in quite a long time. Did get by teammate Louis Foster as Chet Jordan to the top with a 130.7. Van Gisbergen gonna go up the inside of David Malukas. Neither Malukas or Foster on the lap. They just happened to come out at the same time. And Van Gisbergen will be slower. Up next is Francesco Draconi. No pinks for him so far. Finished last at Interlagos with a fuel issue. He's currently going to go third on the timing tower. Devlin DiFrancesco hasn't moved out of round 1 yet this season. Did race in the season that Sebring was used, but he joined later, so wasn't able to. Sebring was the second race that the Open Wheel Offline League ever went to, as he's only going to go to 4th, so going to need some speed there. Lindsey Brewer, going to be little bit better. The third, Benjamin Peterson will go third now, as Connor Zilich gonna go second. Viking Racing won here with Logan Sargent back in season 1. So that 9 team has some history here. Dawa Tenzin only the 7th, gonna need more speed, hasn't made it out of round 1 ever. Jet Jordan not gonna go faster. As I said, that first lap's probably gonna be your money lap. Robbie Lohr just barely missed out at Interlagos from advancing. He's gonna come to the line, and it's gonna be good enough for 5th, so close to the cutoff. Shane Van Gisbergen might be going quicker. Yes, he does, but it's not good enough for 1st. Just gonna jump Zilich. Foster to 5th, and Malukas to 11th, so rough lap for that 04. As Francesco Giacconi already gonna bail into the pits. Probably gonna have enough time to do another run. That's actually probably the smart thing to do. Dorian Pinn 6th, but on the cutoff. Gonna have to see if that will hold. Lubler Lohr coming around. Been kind of a disappointing start to the season for him and his team. He's gonna go 10th. Stingray up to 8th, but not good enough. Zilich is on a good lap. Brewer's gonna come in. So a lot of Banshees cars coming in, and so will Peterson, and Zilich gonna come in too. A lot of guys bailing after 1 lap, to be expected. First lap likely gonna be the best. Robbie Lohr currently coming into the pits. Only 2 minutes left, so he's gonna have to go out there quickly. David Malukas, is he coming in? He is coming in, and he is down in last. It's been a disappointing start to the season for that 04 team. Dorian Pinn will come in, forfeiting the pink sector. Lindsey Brewer has exited the pits. Chet Jordan exiting the pits. Triconi exiting the pits, but I don't know if there's going to be enough time. It's quite a long lap. I think Lindsey Brewer will get back, but I don't know if anyone else will. Lindsey Brewer going to get to the line, and will get 1 lap. Chet Jordan on the back half of the circuit, but I don't know if he's going to get there. As Lindsey Brewer going to be coming out into traffic. Francesco Giacconi has damage. Brewer right behind Dorian Pinn. If this does work out, she could get a draft, as Chet Jordan will not get to the line, so it's only the 47. That's going to get another lap. Dorian Pinn does not want to be giving Lindsey Brewer a draft, because Brewer is the only one that could knock her out. And so far, Brewer's going better on all sectors, but Brewer needs to find 2 seconds of lap time. Now the impeding really seems to be prevalent. This is when the draft is going to be at its best down this straightaway. Gonna try to slingshot by to the line. Is it enough? It might be. And yes, it is. Lindsey Brewer gonna draft Dorian Pin to knock her out in the final seconds of the session. Now that's incredible. So advancing, Chet Jordan, first car out, gonna be first on track. Shane Van Gisbergen gonna go second. I think the only one to improve on his second lap. And then Connor Zilich will go third. Benjamin Peterson with a good time gonna go fourth. Louis Foster in fifth. And then Dorian Pin gonna be knocked out right at the end by Lindsey Brewer, who's gonna advance to round two. Eliminated Vet 43 does not make it, gonna be starting from 13th. Robbie Lohr starting from 15th. 17th will be Stingray Robb. 19th, Francesco Draconi, who crashed, is as the rookie of the season battle gets hotter. He's lost a little bit of pace. Glover Lord gonna be starting from 21st, 23rd for Dawa Tenzin, 25th for Devlin DiFrancesco, and this disappointing start to the season gets even worse as David Malukas will start in last place. That's how they line up after one round, one group. So we go to round one, Group B. Back for round one, Group B. Here are the drivers taking part in this session. We got Justin Allgaier, Nolan Siegel, Marcus Armstrong, Miles Rowe, Tinkle McStinkle, Mahavi Raghunathan, Ryan Preece, Ethan Martz, Alessio Deletta, Guy Gagne, Lawless Allen, Nico Hulkenberg, and Brennan Hubbard. So those are the 13 taking part in this round as we wait for cars to leave the pits. Already almost 2 minutes off the clock and nobody is left. which may mean that there might be a little bit of traffic jam issues in this session. Multiple guys trying to go out at once, but it will be the 14 that goes out first. We'll go on board for a bumpy lap around Sebring. As I said, traffic might be an issue. He's going to be coming out right behind the 95 of Nico Hulkenberg. May cause him problems if he catches him soon, which it seems like he probably will at the pace he's currently going. Luckily, the 95 going to move over. Going to play nice. Allgaier second in the Rookie of the Season standings behind Draconi, but Draconi eliminated in round one once again. This would now be a good time for the 14 to try to chase him down, but right now Nolan Siegel with 2 pinks to open his lap. Viking Racing has looked pretty quick on the road courses so far, especially the 9 and 19. 90 of Guy Gagné has been very consistent. Actually, kind of not. That was a lie. But outside of two results, he's finished in the top 5 and everything else. He's a guy that wishes there were drop weeks. As Allgaier, a lot of his personal bests are being beaten here. As he's going to get to the line, 131.0. You only get about 1 lap, roughly, around here. You gotta make it count. Here comes Nolan Siegel. Gonna begin to run off of Miles Rowe in a new paint in the black and yellow. 130.6 as Gagne 131.3 is gonna go third. Marcus Armstrong gonna cross a line 130.7, just a little bit off first. Mahavir Gunathan 133.9. Mick Stinkle really needs his season to get underway. 136.1 not going to be enough. Lawless Allen has a pink. 24th in points. Lowest of your 4 rookies. Would love for a good result here. Hasn't advanced out of round 1 in qualifying. Been close on a couple of occasions. As at the line, 132.2. It's going to put him 5th as the time to beat is 133.9 set by Mahavir Gunathan. Allen's teammate Ethan Mart's going to be crossing the line here. 133.6. Alessio Deletta 131.5. That's going to put Allen on the cutoff. But Priest going to go 131.6 and bump him out. Justin Allgaier is going to go second, 130.7. Just a little bit better than Armstrong. Hulkenberg and Hubbard lined up back to back. Let's see how they do. Hulkenberg with a pink, gonna go 135.7. Hubbard's lap does not count for whatever reason, must have gone off. Nolan Siegel doesn't go better. Miles Rowe to 10th. Armstrong gonna complete his lap, but it's not gonna be better, just marginally slower, but it's very close between the top three. But Ryan Preece in by half a second over teammate Lawless Allen. And then right behind him is his other teammate, Ethan Martz. Lawless Allen, 2 greens. But does he have enough to do another lap? And that big slide's gonna hurt. Lawless Allen gonna come in, doesn't have enough, and I don't know if he'll have enough time. Ethan Martz with a green, 4 greens I should say. Alessio Deletta doesn't look to be going better. Ryan Preece has a pink in the second sector. Mart's gonna come in. Preece gonna come in, and he's on the cut line. Guy Gagné is going back out. He'll have enough time for at least one more lap. If you want to do another lap, you gotta leave the pits now. Hulkenberg and Hubbard side by side. Hubbard doesn't have a lap, but he's gonna come into the pits, and that's probably gonna be it for Hubbard. Gonna be starting from 26th. So a minute 30, not enough cars are out on track. Except for Guy Gagné, who's already in, so what you see on the leaderboard is probably how it's going to be. So Gagné just looking for a personal flex. So far doesn't look to be going better on this lap. Currently behind first by about half a second. Pink in the third sector, but everything else is still yellow. Down the back straight for the final time this round. The line will be just a little bit better. Literally by about like 6 thousandths. That really didn't do much. He was already in anyways. So advancing to round 2 from this group will be the 19 of Nolan Siegel, who leads the way. Justin Allgaier in second. Third is Marcus Armstrong. Fourth, Guy Gagné. Fifth will be Alessio Deletta. So 3 out of 4 Banshees of Little Miami cars advance. Then Ryan Preece will take the last spot. So eliminated from this round, going to be starting 14th for Lawless Allen, just barely missing out. 16th will be Ethan Martz, which has been where he started like the last few races it seems. 18th for Mahavir Raghunathan. 20th for Miles Rowe, which might be his best this season. 22nd for Nico Hulkenberg. 24th for Tinkle McStinkle, and then Brennan Hubbard, qualifying really being an issue for him this season. Going to be starting down in 26th, the only Viking racing car that will not advance out of the first round. That's it for round 1. We'll be back in just a minute for round 2. Back for round 2 here at Sebring. These are the drivers taking part: Shane Van Gisbergen, Connor Zilic, Louis Foster, Justin Allgaier, Nolan Siegel, Chet Jordan, Benjamin Peterson, Marcus Armstrong, Lindsey Brewer, Ryan Preece, Alessio Deletta, and Guy Gagne. So those are the 12 in this group. As we are just about to get going, say the biggest surprise elimination in round 1, probably Dorian Pin. The 4 Swindlers of the Immortals cars have looked really good this season, so it's kind of surprising to see one go out, as we'll go on board with Chet Jordan around this lap. And Chet Jordan gonna be in an unfortunate situation, gonna end up in traffic with 47 of Lindsey Brewer up ahead, and he's going to have to slow down in turn 1, fastest turn on the track. So that's definitely going to hurt his lap just a little bit. Everyone else on the track seems to be fairly spread out. Might get a little bit of slipstream from Connor Zilic. This whole section of the track is flat out. There's many flat out sections in this track. Currently all on pinks, except Alessio Deletta has taken his first one, and that's when he was held up by the 47. And I think Shane Van Gisbergen going to be in a little bit of trouble with Benjamin Peterson in the first turn. But now Chet Jordan getting a little bit of compensation, getting a good slipstream off of Connor Zilic. Fastest car in his group as 131.6. No, 131.8. 3 of the Banshees of Little Miami cars advanced to this group. However, 2 of them causing problems for other cars. Van Gisbergen still behind the 29. Van Gisbergen has gotten pole at every single road course. So I wonder if Peterson trying to be in the way to maybe end that streak. Van Gisbergen also got the last pole of season 4 on a road course at Sonoma, as Deletta through the final turn gonna be a 135.1, so gonna need more pace. Here comes Benjamin Peterson and Shane Van Gisbergen. Peterson gonna take a defensive line, so he is trying to hold him up just a little. Gonna have to see what effect that has. They're gonna be coming to the line. 132.7s for each. With Peterson just going to be a little bit better, Allgaier are going to get a little bit of a slipstream off his teammate. 131.1 will go to the top. Guy Gagné 132.4. Shane Van Gisbergen might be in trouble, as here comes Nolan Siegel to the line. 131.4. He's going to go second, and then Connor Zilic to the top. 130.9. That's going to put Van Gisbergen below the cutoff, and Peterson in 6th, so we're going to have to see how that plays out. Brewer going to be going to 9th, not going to be good enough. Ryan Preece with a pink in the 2nd sector, only in 8th. That's not going to be good enough. It's going to be a bit disappointing. Van Gisbergen has gotten by Peterson, so may try to get some greens here, but we don't know if he's going to have enough juice to make it back around. Alessio Deletta below the cutoff by a considerable margin. And he's going to pull in here. Marcus Armstrong coming to the line. And he will go to the top, 130.8. Van Gisbergen, does he have enough juice, or is he coming in this time? He has 3 yellows and 3 greens. And he's going to stay out. And this will be good enough for 6. That's going to knock out Guy Gagné. But his teammate, Louis Foster, coming around to the line. And for Foster, it's not good enough. He goes only to 8th. Could be disappointing for Louis Foster. The Swindlers of the Immortals all over the place so far. Zilic going to come in. I think Brewer's going to have to come in. Ryan Preece, well below the cutoff. Going to be getting a slipstream, but also a little bit held up here. And both will come into the pits. Marcus Armstrong not going much better, but we do have Chet Jordan and Guy Gagné going out. Gagné only needs about 2/10 to knock out Van Gisbergen. So far, the late goer outers have gone better. Peterson and Deletta going out as well. And I think all of these guys are going to get lap times. So a lot more active at the end of this session than it has been in the other groups. Armstrong going to come back to the line. And not going to go better. Shane Van Gisbergen probably coming in this time, won't have enough time to go back out. Louis Foster, 4 greens. Will he stay out or is he coming in? He is going to come in and he will be eliminated in round 2 once again. Chet Jordan in 5th. Got a little impeded by Lindsey Brewer in turn 1. Will be out. Guy Gagné following him. A lot of cars on outlaps, not sure how many of them are going to get back in time. Armstrong is probably on an in-lap here, but even so, he's not going quick enough to really have an effect. But Guy Gagné, the guy really to watch here, is going to have a clean lap. Only needs 2/10. Chet Jordan already going green. Gagné green. And that's big. It's really big. Pink in the second sector. Chet Jordan looking good. Gagné less good in the third sector. Gonna need a bit more time. And not trending well, but Chet Jordan is looking very good. All of his sectors are better. He looked really good in Group A. Peterson's also out there, but doesn't seem to be going better. Checkered flag is out. I don't know who was the last one to take to the line. I was too invested. As here comes Chet Jordan around the final turn. And he is going to be 130.0. That is a fast lap, up by 8/10, and Guy Gagné to the line. And it's going to knock out Van Gisbergen. He goes 5th. I believe Brewer was probably the last one to get to the line. But here comes Peterson. Is it good enough? It doesn't look like it will be. He's going to be down in 9th. Alessio Deletta. 2 sectors better. Lindsey Brewer not going better. Around the final turn. And not going to be better for Alessio Deletta. And Lindsey Brewer, I don't think it's better. The points leader knocked out in round 2. So we will get a new road course pole sitter. So your 6 advancing to the Fast 6 will be Chet Jordan, teammate Marcus Armstrong, Connor Zilich, Justin Allgaier, Nolan Siegel, and Guy Gagné, who bumps in the last second. Eliminated, going to be starting in 7th for Shane Van Gisbergen, 8th for his teammate Louis Foster, who's going to be on his outside. Benjamin Peterson down in 9th. Ryan Preece in 10th. 11th for Alessio Deletta. And then rounding out round 2 will be Lindsey Brewer. That's it for round 2. We'll be back in just a moment for your Fast 6. Welcome to the Fast Six here at Sebring. And of course, we can't make it the whole qualifying session without something breaking, but Connor Zilic, Justin Allgaier, Nolan Siegel, Chet Jordan, Marcus Armstrong, and Guy Gagné will make up your Fast Six. Points leader Shane Van Gisbergen knocked out in round 2, going to be starting from 7th, so we will get a new road course pole sitter today. Nobody out on track just yet. So only 8 minutes in this session. Not much time remaining already. 2 minutes have passed. I guess everyone only needs about 1 lap. And first car out, it's gonna be Marcus Armstrong with teammate Chet Jordan not far behind. Armstrong looking for his 3rd pole this season, would already match what he had last time. So far, and Justin Allgaier is going to come out right in front of Marcus Armstrong. This is going to hurt the 33's lap if the 14 doesn't get up to speed quickly. He's going to be right on the apex here. Going to be right in the way into the slowest part of the circuit. And this is just unfortunate for the 33. Gonna try to swing to the outside and get by, but that is going to be a run killer. Chet Jordan going to be coming up on the 14 not long after. And right now, Chet Jordan is going faster. Has never got a road course pole. Only 1 pole to his name. And that comes last season, or not even last season, season 3 at Auto Club. So been a very long time. But right now, Marcus Armstrong had 2 pinks, but Chet Jordan just stole 1 of them. The 33 is flying, but that time stuck behind the 14 gonna hurt. Neither of the Viking racing cars have started their lap times yet, as actually Guy Gagné just has. And then Siegel and Zilic just getting started. Armstrong gonna go through the final turn. You really only get 1 lap here. He's probably gonna try a second, but it's mainly 1 lap that counts. And it will be a 131.6 as Chet Jordan gonna come around. Is it good enough? 131.3, so it is just better than his teammate. And that time behind 14 may have been enough. So far, none of Viking Racing has turned a single pink sector. Just 2 minutes remain on the clock. Actually, less than, at about 1 minute 40, so 100 seconds. Connor Zilich has a pink in the 5th sector. So has some speed late in the lap. Will it be good enough? Here comes Guy Gagne to the line. 135.3, that ain't gonna be enough. Nolan Siegel now coming around. And his lap will be a 131.7, just misses out on the front row. And Connor Zilich goes second. 131.376, barely gonna miss pole by 46 thousandths. Marcus Armstrong gonna come around here. It will be better, but only the third. Justin Allgaier, will he take pole? No, he's gonna go 5th. Still a little bit of time left. Chet Jordan came in. Armstrong did another lap, so Chet Jordan feels he is safe. Everyone has one more lap if they want to take it. Armstrong probably doesn't have enough. Nolan Siegel has a pink in the 3rd sector, so don't count out that 19, but that is assuming he can make it all the way back. 2 pinks, so Nolan Siegel is on it. Right now, Gagne not close enough. This 19 going pretty quick, but does he have enough to make it back, and will it even be good enough for pole in the first place? The checkered flag. All 5 cars that are still out there going to come across or come into the pits. Gagne will come into the pits. Nolan Siegel might have enough for pole, but does he have to come in? Yes, he does. He doesn't have enough fuel to make it back around. And Connor Zilich going to come in as well. Armstrong, we assume, will come in. And Justin Allgaier in 5th. Not going to have enough. So Chet Jordan, it will be his first road course pole. And he is one of the drivers that has started here before. So it's not a big surprise if you've been following this series. So your provisional starting grid. Row 1 gonna be Chet Jordan with the number 9 of Connor Zilich on his outside. With row 2, Armstrong gonna be right behind his teammate with Nolan Siegel to his outside. Row 3 will be Justin Allgaier, probably not gonna have Marcus Armstrong be super happy at him. And alongside him will be the number 90 of Guy Gagne. Back to row 4, 2 Swindlers teammates disappointed in their qualifying efforts. Going to be Van Gisbergen and Louis Foster. Row 5 will be Benjamin Peterson and Ryan Preece. And then row 6 will be Banshees of Little Miami's teammates Alessio Deletta and Lindsey Brewer. Row 7, also disappointed in her qualifying effort, is going to be Dorian Pinn. To her outside will be the number 92 of Lawless Allen. Row 8 gonna be Chet Jordan. And once again, starting 16th will be Ethan Martz, getting very acquainted to the outside of row 8. And in row 9 will be Stingray Rob and Mahavir Raghunathan. Back to row 10, and you have Francesco Draconi and Miles Rowe. This is Rowe's best qualifying effort of the season. And then row 11 will be Glubler Lore and Nico Hulkenberg. Then you go back to row 12, and it will be Dawa Tenzin and Tinkle McStinkle And then row 13 will be Devlin DiFrancesco and Brennan Hubbard. And then going to be very disappointed with his qualifying effort is going to be the number 04 of David Malukas, who's going to start in last in 27th. So that is your starting grid for tomorrow's race at Sebring. Going to be 25 laps. Going to be a fun one. Haven't been to this track in quite some time. It's going to be a good race. And I hope to see you guys